Good morning, Sheva Bracha, Zachar, Yishu, Shvatam, Shagdoshim, Atorim. Oh, our parasha this week is unbelievable. So many beautiful things, and unfortunately, also not so nice things. We have Pesach Sheni. We have the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. We have Kivrot HaTa'ava, that Am Yisrael, they wanted to, meat they wanted. And we'll see in a minute that they had meat already. So, It'avut Ta'ava, the idea was not the meat, it's like the last, the desire for desire, the desire, and we'll see it in a minute. Also, we have the menorah in the beginning of the parsha. In other words, there's a lot to learn. But let's start with one important, by the way, one important point is here, that everything normally is connected to what we live during the week. It's a lesson for all of us, for how to live our life. It's not a story. Torah is not a storyteller. Now, let's see, first of all, for a few minutes, the greatest of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, the Torah is writing to us about Pesach, and there are a group of people that they are tmeim, they're impure, they cannot have the sacrifice of the hen, cannot have the sacrifice of Pesach, the Korban Pesach. So they come, you know, it's amazing. Normally, till yesterday, the day before, we didn't say Tachnun. People are so happy, they don't have to say Tachnun. How long is it? 2 minutes? So Monday and Thursday, well, 4 minutes, maybe. And so, we don't have to say Tachnun. Now, look and listen what's happening in our parsha. People, they don't have to bring the Korban Pesach because they are impure. And then they don't have to do it. That's it. They are patur. They don't have to. So what do? They come to Moshe and says, we want to bring the Pesach. We want to be the Korban Pesach. Well, why? Why should be different from all Am Yisrael? He says, wait a minute. And he's asking God. Can you imagine? A human being is asking God a question on the spot and he's getting an answer. There is Pesach Sheni. You have another opportunity. Wow. Moshe Rabbeinu talking to God. So we see the greatness of Am Yisrael, and from the other side, the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. But this is not only this. One of the interesting things in the parasha is that you had the clouds, and when the cloud was on the tabernacle, and when it left, Am Yisrael also left. And it's written, I want to find it for a minute, that you will see it's unbelievable what's happening here. Okay. ביום מקים את המשכן, כיסה ענן את המשכן. So the cloud was covering the tabernacle. בערב יהיה המשכן כמראה אש, בבוקר ענן, etc. ולפי העלות הענן מעל האוהל, and if the cloud was getting up, moving, אחרי כן ייסעו בני ישראל. So בני ישראל, they all moved with that cloud. במקום אשר ישכון שם הענן, שם יחנו, and where it stopped, Am Yisrael had camped. Okay, now the Torah is going on. על פי השם ייסעו בני ישראל ועל פי השם יחנו. Again, על פי השם, everything is according to what God wants. And the sign was the cloud. So the cloud moves, they're moving. The cloud stops, they're stopping. Now you have to understand, it's very easy to say. But the Torah goes on and on. כל ימי אשר ישכון הענן. All the days that the cloud was standing on the tabernacle, they also were standing, were camping, they were living, putting all the tents and all the kids and everything organized. Okay. And when the cloud was going for days on, 4 days and days, and you know, you get tired. Well, I want to move. We have a mission. We have to get to Eretz Yisrael. What's going on here? Let's move. ושמרו בני ישראל את משמרת השם ולא ייסעו. No problem, they don't move, they stay. ויש אשר יהיה ענן ימים מספר על המשכן, and sometimes for a few days. Still, על פי השם יחנו, על פי השם ייסעו. ויש אשר יהיה ענן מערב עד בוקר. Imagine to yourself, Am Yisrael moving with the cloud is stopping, they taking all the things from the donkeys, from the wherever they had, and they putting it, and they putting all, and you have to build the tents and everything. They building everything, organizing everything, the beds and thing. And then they didn't even sleep a few minutes. They see the cloud going up. So they have to take everything now and again pack everything and put it on the donkeys and even go and start moving. They did it. Al pi Hashem yachanu, v'al pi Hashem yisau. Unbelievable. This is emunah. Now, when we say al pi Hashem, we have to understand that everything is according to God. Everything. God controls everything. Even if you go to the makolet, you want to be successful in buying in the makolet, it's God there. And it's not a shame, you don't have to be ashamed to ask God that you will be successful. Buying a suit, buying a car, whatever you do in life, everything, God is there. And this is a thing also to understand. When we do things, we have always to say, Be'ezrat Hashem, because God is behind everything. It reminds me of a story. My son had an anniversary with his wife a few years ago, and they went to Caesarea to sit on the beach to see the sun getting down, and they had a plan to go to a restaurant nearby. They were sitting on the sand, and the sun came down. It was starting to be cold, so they get back to the car. My son is putting his hand in the pocket. No keys. There was a hole in the pocket, and the keys fell where? On the sand. Everybody that was there was on the beach. They were helping him, but you didn't come and look for keys in the sand. Couldn't find it. So suddenly I'm on the way to a wedding on the other side of the country, and I get a phone from my son. Nathaniel says, "I lost the keys. I don't know why you have to." It's lucky enough that I had the reserve keys at my house. So I phoned the other son. Cut the long story short, my other son had to go from Petach Tikva to Caesarea to give him the keys. Eventually, the ending was good. But this is exactly the point. You can plan. Rabot machashavot belev ish. There are a lot of thoughts in our minds. V'atzat Hashem itakum. God is, my grandma my Oma had a say, Mensch denkt und Gott lenkt. In other words, human being, he thinks, but God is the one who is doing it. So this is something to see from both sides, to understand we do everything al pi Hashem, and to understand that whatever we do, we say Be'ezrat Hashem. This is al pi Hashem yechanu al pi misaru. Unfortunately, we have also not such a good picture in the parsha, and this is kivot ha'ta'ava. Va'asafsuf asher bekirbo itavut ha'ava. They had a desire. Desire for what? Itavut ha'ava. Desire for desire. What's this? Lust for lust. Well, what's the meaning of it? They wanted meat. They didn't want meat, or meat that we think. What meat did they got? Slav. This kind of bird, whatever is slav. If you go back, they were asking the same thing. Who is going to give us food? They wanted food when they went into the desert. And then they got, what did they get? In the evening they got slav. You can look at the parsha. And in the morning they got the manna. So they had meat every day. And by the way, they were not punished then when they asked. Yes, there was maybe not like trusting God. You'd have to trust God. But still, they were not punished. But here, they were punished severely. And now we start to understand why. Because it wasn't the meat that they wanted. They got tired of the spiritual food that they got from heaven, the manna. The manna had the spiritual power. They wanted steak. They wanted meat, real meat. They wanted... What did they want? Ta'avat besarim. They wanted the lust of the body, the desire to all the materialistic things, all the body needs. But it's not the body needs, it's the body desires. And that's a big difference. When you take what you have to survive, you have to eat, of course, but you have to eat in order to function and go in the way of God. And there, the whole idea was going against God. It says that's the Erev Rav.